Welcome to the Ligue season review as we look back at a triumphant campaign for Paris Saint-Germain. There are special features on the best player, the leading marksman and the revelation of the year. Plus, we relive the ups and downs of a season that won us more goals than any of Europe's top 5 leagues.
Bonjour, c'est Kylian Mbappé.
Hi, I'm Adil Rami.
Hey, I'm Memphis Depay and you're watching the Ligue Show.
Bienvenue dans
le Ligue 1 Show.
Welcome to the Ligue 1 Show.
Tout de suite, c'est le Ligue 1 Show.
For PSG, the mission was clear. Win back the league title Monaco took away from them in 2016-17. In order to achieve that goal, the capital club made a big statement in the summer, signing Monaco's brilliant young forward Kylian Mbappé on loan, and above all capturing the signature of Neymar from Barcelona for a world record €222 million. Neymar's remarkable debut suggested Paris had done some good business.
Super ballon. Cavani, c'est ouvert! Superbe! Plat du pied ouvert et petit filet opposé. Et première passe décisive de Neymar pour El Matador.
Neymar can do everything. He's great to play with.
C'est pas terminé. Oh oui, Cavani, ça c'est bien fait. Cavani toujours. Oh, le voilà! Le premier but de Neymar en Ligue 1.
I haven't seen a phenomenon like him in a long time.
Fantastique.
He's a fantastic player. I think €200 million is a bargain.
Je pense que 200 millions, c'est... Ils ont fait une affaire, je pense.
PSG were up and running. Neymar also shone on his Parc des Princes bow, scoring 2 more goals and setting up a couple too. With Neymar on song, Unai Emery's men won their first 6 matches to pull clear at the top. Their new Brazilian number 10 had already contributed 4 goals and 4 assists.
I'm really pleased about the way I've been received. The fans are behind us and they sung my name. I hope it'll be like that all season long.
While PSG took the title race into their own hands, 3 teams emerged in the chasing pack. Defending champions Monaco enjoyed a strong start thanks to their captain Radamel Falcao, who netted 13 goals in his first 10 games. Lyon proved that they meant business too, not least in round 9 when they defeated Monaco 3-2 at the Parc OL. A few weeks later, Bruno Genesio's Chargers thrashed Nice 5-0 away from home.
We've had a very good first half to the season. Now we can go and enjoy a nice holiday.
Marseille were also in the mix. Despite a poor start, which included an embarrassing 6-1 defeat at Monaco, the Southern Giants remain in contention for Champions League qualification after stringing together a 12-match unbeaten run.
We're still in touch in the race for second place. There are 19 games left. There's a long way to go. We have to keep the same spirit. We're on a good run at the moment.
But there was no doubt as to which side had been top dog. PSG lost just 1 match in the first half of the campaign against Strasbourg. They defeated Lyon 2-0 at the Parc des Princes, claimed a last-gasp draw away to another rival, Marseille, and perhaps most ominously overpowered the title holders in Monaco, running out 2-1 victors.
You have to stay focused for 90-95 minutes to have a chance against them.
They're stronger than the rest. It's going to be very hard to reel them in. If PSG looked to be in a class of their own, the three-way tussle for second was simmering very nicely indeed. Back in the top tier after a 9-year absence, Strasbourg ingested a large dose of passion and emotion into the Ligue 1 season. Thierry Laurey's unheralded side had just clinched back-to-back promotions, yet their lack of top-flight experience was compensated for by their fervent and vocal supporters. In their first game at the Stade de la Menno, the Alsace club were roared on to a 3-0 victory. The excitement in the region was palpable, even if Laurey did his best to keep a lid on expectations.
Leave us some time. You guys want us in the Champions League already. Calm down a bit. We'll lose some games too, we know that, and we won't worry about it.
Laurey was right. Strasbourg did lose matches, and plenty of them. But the team continued to show great heart, especially at home and against the biggest teams. A 3-3 draw against Marseille was followed up by the result of the season against PSG.
Balkan in behind, chance here. Oh, he's put it in. There it is. Strasbourg have beaten Paris Saint-Germain. The league leaders losing for the first time this season.
Strasbourg are capable of anything. Everyone thought we'd lose this game, but in this atmosphere, we're capable of doing amazing things. We'll enjoy this now, but we mustn't forget that our aim this season is simply to stay up.
Strasbourg's roller coaster of a season hit a fitting climax in their final home match. Laurey's charges came from behind against Lyon to level at 2-2 before local lad Dimitri Liénard stepped up for a free kick.
We took responsibility today. When you have a crowd like this one, a blue wall behind you, the whole of Alsace behind us, we owed it to them.
The goal at the end was amazing. We're staying in Ligue 1, so well done everyone. We'll really enjoy tonight.
I really think Racing have some great years to come in Ligue 1. We've written the first chapter this season. I hope there'll be many more to come.
If Strasbourg finished 15th, another promoted side, Amiens, did even better, ending their first ever top-flight campaign in 13th position.
From the word go, we knew we'd need to fight. And we were ready, both mentally and of course physically. You often get what you deserve, and I really believe that the group has been rewarded now.
Fellow newcomers Troyes returned to the second tier, however, finishing among the 2 automatic relegation places, along with rock-bottom Metz.
As a reward for his brilliant season with Marseille, Florian Thauvin has beaten the likes of Anthony Martial and Kingsley Coman to a World Cup spot. And his call-up appears to have been a no-brainer for France coach Didier Deschamps.
He's had a remarkable season in terms of stats. He's got a great attitude, and he's a big part of this group. He's also a left-footed specialist who plays on the right wing, and that's interesting for us. He brings something different to the table, and he's given plenty of left-backs, plenty of nightmares this season.
Voted France's best young player in 2013, Thauvin had long been plagued by inconsistency. But after scoring in the opening game against Dijon this term, the former Newcastle United man sent out a message.
I'm going to try to raise the bar, but I need to work hard.
Florian Thauvin dans la surface, il a fait beaucoup, il a fait tout même. Gustavo, deuxième photo, Thauvin la remise de la tête. Il est chaud comme la braise.
I'm enjoying myself and I'm making the most of it because what I'm experiencing right now is special. Of course, he's a key player for us.
With 26 goals to his name, 22 of which came in Ligue 1, Thauvin was one of the driving forces behind Marseille's push for Champions League qualification. Indeed, OM's leading marksman ended the season as the highest-scoring Frenchman in Europe's top 5 leagues.
My problem in the past was that I wasn't consistent enough. At this level, that's the hardest thing. It's difficult to get it right, because when you're playing a game every 3 days, well, of course, your body is going to suffer and take longer to recover. Hopefully, I can keep it up for a long time now.
In the form of his life, Thauvin counts 11 assists to add to all his goals. His pace and dribbling ability have raised the roof at the Velodrome on numerous occasions. And his love for the club has transformed him from a scapegoat into a fan favourite.
I didn't exactly have it easy with the fans here, and I went onto the defensive, shutting myself off. But I've since understood that that wasn't helping anything, because people didn't really know me at all. I wanted to show everyone who I really was. Now I'm happy that the people here appreciate me.
At a club where patience is far from a primary virtue, Thauvin, who endured a slow start at OM, could end up in the club's history books. Statistically speaking, he already is. His performances this season better those of club legends like Didier Drogba, André-Pierre Gignac and Rudi Völler.
He's a humble, intelligent lad, but I don't want him to get too big-headed.
Now it's up to the darling of the Velodrome to reproduce his form with the national team. In the words of Rudy Garcia, the World Cup comes at a good time.
It's been his season. Top of the table since the third week, PSG came back out of the blocks flying in 2018, winning their first 2 matches and even putting 8 goals past Dijon. Neymar set up 2 that day, and he also notched his first quadruple of his Ligue 1 career.
He ran the show. You can run after him, but it's impossible to take the ball off him. He's so skillful, so in control.
In round 22, PSG travelled to a Lyon side pushing hard for Champions League qualification. Without Neymar, the leaders slumped to their second defeat of the season following Memphis Depay's late intervention.
We have to do better. We all know that.
The words were followed up by acts as PSG responded to the Lyon loss by winning their next 9 games, scoring 27 goals in that time as Emery's charges proved simply unstoppable. On April the 15th, the capital club had the chance to wrap up a 7th league title, and they could do so against the defending champions Monaco at the Parc des Princes. The performance was emphatic. Paris roaring to a 7-1 triumph and confirming their return to the summit of the French game in thrilling fashion. It's great to win the league like that in front of our own fans.
I think today's game reflects the whole season. We've been very good, very professional and focused. This is clearly a special team, and personally, I'm very happy to be part of the adventure.
PSG may have won the league with 5 games to spare, but which two from Monaco, Lyon and Marseille would join them in the Champions League? Monaco started 2018 in second, but back-to-back draws saw them slip down to 4th. Marseille rose to 3rd after winning 3 matches straight in January, while Lyon now occupied 2nd place after toppling PSG. Leonardo Jardim's men refused to buckle though. 7 wins from 9 between mid-February and mid-April saw Monaco surge back up into 2nd.
We're focusing on ourselves, but it's good news. We're starting to pull away.
4th place Lyon looked to be out of the race, but that all changed in round 30. 5 points behind Marseille before kick-off, Bruno Genesio's Chargers triumphed 3-2 in a thrilling contest at the Velodrome.
We're closing in on the podium now, so we're very satisfied.
The 3-way battle remained intense right until the end, but it was Monaco who stole a march on their rivals by winning their final 3 matches to clinch 2nd.
That was our goal, and we've done it. We've set ourselves up well for next season.
The battle for 3rd and the final Champions League spot went right to the wire. 4th placed Marseille needed to beat Amiens and hoped 3rd placed Lyon would slip up. Marseille duly triumphed 2-1. But Lyon, inspired by their hat-trick hero Memphis Depay, came from behind to beat Nice 3-2 and thus secure 3rd spot. We've dropped some silly points. We've missed a chance, but it's too late now. There's no point stewing on it.
Not everything's been perfect, but we've finished well. And that's good for the club, the players, our families, and of course the fans too.
But at the end of another breathless season, it was PSG celebrating a 5th crown in 6 years. Their tally of 93 points was the 2nd best in the club's history, and with 108 goals scored, Emery's team bettered Monaco's record from the previous campaign. PSG, without a doubt, are the team to beat in France once more. So confirmation of PSG's 13-point cushion over 2nd-placed Monaco. 3 teams head directly into next season's Champions League group stage, with Lyon joining the top 2. At the other end, Metz go down along with Troyes, who have now suffered 3 relegations in the last 5 years. For Edinson Cavani, 2017-18 was a season he'll never forget. In January, El Matador became PSG's all-time record goal scorer by registering his 157th strike against Montpellier. He went on to finish the campaign with 28 league goals, clinching his 2nd consecutive Ligue 1 Golden Boot. The Uruguayan international spoke to us about the secret of his success and what it means to be a true PSG legend.
I often speak with my family and friends, and they ask me, Eddie, do you realise what you've done here? You've made history with this club. But I think that sometimes you can only fully understand what you are living later. And I don't think you really understand everything that it means until later on. Perhaps years later, when you look back. For me, it's only at that point that you see how important these moments are, and that you really have become part of the history of a club. An attacker must always be ready in the penalty box. That's what we're on the pitch for, to finish off the work of the team. And that means being ready when the ball arrives at your feet. You take the ball however it comes, with your head, your knee, it doesn't matter. When you see the ball coming, you have to read the play and read what will happen next. And that's why, when the ball arrives, you already know what you're going to do. First thing that you have to do is make sure you control the ball. And then you have to see where the goalkeeper is. Against Rennes, I saw that the defender was behind me, so I just had to control and then see where the goalkeeper was. I immediately saw that the keeper was coming out, so I thought to lob him. But it happens so quickly on the pitch, it's instantaneous. You decide on the spur of the moment, and that is what makes an attacker.
Cavani's 28 goals were scored in just 32 appearances. He finished 6 clear of Marseille's Florian Thauvin. A special mention to the Lyon trio of forwards, Memphis Depay, Mariano Diaz and Nabil Fekir, all of whom feature in the top 6. Neymar, meanwhile, struck 19 goals in just 20 appearances. The Brazilian also tops the assists table after setting up 13 goals, the same number as Marseille's Dimitri Payet. Despite Metz's desperate plight, Mathieu Dossovy contributed 11 goal assists, as did the impressive Florian Thauvin.
The historic rivalry between Marseille and PSG resurfaced on October the 22nd, 5 years after OM last took a point at home against the capital club. Since then, both sides had undergone giant changes. Changes that made the latest version of Le Classique difficult to call, and all the more enticing.
Our rivals are PSG. They've invested €1 billion to get to where they are today, but the most popular club is still Marseille. There's a history here and a fan base, which means that nobody can rival Marseille.
Unbeaten and with their star names in destructive form, league leaders PSG travelled south in buoyant mood. The hosts, though, were looking sharp. Optimism and confidence transcended both teams. We're going there to win.
We'll play to win.
Millions tuned in to witness Neymar's first taste of the velodrome atmosphere. And as PSG exerted the early pressure, it became clear Marseille were taking no prisoners.
It's such a big game, we knew that we'd come up against a very aggressive Marseille team.
Rather than Paris's world record signing, it was his compatriot and rival on the evening, Luis Gustavo, who set the game alight 16 minutes in.
Gustavo, what a goal!
That's Luis. That's why we bought him. We know he's one of the best players in world football.
Not one to be outdone, Neymar took matters into his own hands.
There it is, Neymar. Paris Saint-Germain level matters and silence the home crowd. And in his first classique, it's Neymar who strikes.
A relentless first half ended at 1-1. Marseille were more than holding their own.
We knew it would be tough, but it's great that we've got back level before the break.
We're causing them problems. The second half began in a similarly committed manner. Parisian frustrations became evident when Jordan Amavi appeared to handle inside the UN box, and penalty appeals were waved away. Tension mounted steadily as both teams battled for the lead.
It's very difficult to impose ourselves on the game.
OM's dogged determination had PSG worried, and with 12 minutes to go, it came good.
Still fighting, Clinton NG gets it over! Marseille in front through! Florian Thauvin!
I think we lost our rhythm slightly, and that second goal made things difficult.
The velodrome was boiling over, and tempers began to fray.
Neymar fouled by Sanson. Now I think Morgan Sanson will be booked. And it's Neymar who has shoulder-charged Ocampos. And Neymar's classic debut ends prematurely.
PSG's unbeaten start to the campaign was coming to an end in front of the eyes of the world. But midway through the 4 minutes of added time, a free kick and a golden chance.
Cavani! It's in! And it's a Cavani! Paris Saint-Germain have done it with 10 men!
Cavani's free kick, as dramatic as it was stunning, denied OM an historic victory.
It was an important goal because the match was getting away from us, so it's good, but there are more big tests to come.
It
would have been great to win in Marseille, but with hindsight, it was vital we didn't lose either.
de pas perdre non plus.
We were just 2 minutes away from something great, but nevertheless, it was a big moment.
Ce qui est sûr, c'est que
There were a lot of fantastic players out on the pitch, and not only in PSG shirts.
He may be turning 41 in September, but Vitorino Hilton's talent and love for the game are showing no signs of ageing. The rock at the heart of Ligue 1's second best defence, Montpellier's captain has played 419 Ligue 1 games and continues to command total respect.
He's a monster, and I think he'll keep going a little longer.
What he's managing at 40 is just exceptional.
I'm full of admiration and respect for him.
I respect him immensely because what he's doing is incredible, but he's also an example to so many.
He's exemplary in the way that he works, in his attitude, and mentally, he's incredibly strong.
I don't know if I could do it at 40. His desire is great.
It's incredible to be so consistent, to perform so well at his age, to keep up such a level of intensity and to play so well. It's great to see.
He has a faultless lifestyle. He shows every young player that at 40 it's possible to face PSG and to stand tall. He's an example to all.
He can keep going another few years. It's great to see.
He's an older brother, not a granddad.
The term model professional comes to mind upon hearing such tributes. And when Hilton himself reveals the key to playing past the age of 40, it becomes clear that Montpellier's favourite Brazilian is a rare breed of footballer.
I have great respect for my job. I've tried to be exemplary in my behaviour throughout my career, both in terms of the football and in my own life. I try to show all youngsters that if you want to have a memorable career, you have to respect the job.
Growing up in Gama in central Brazil, football surrounded Hilton from a young age. And thanks to the daily kickabouts with his older brother, a future Ligue 1 legend was born.
We would play football every day. One-on-ones, anything really. Football, football, football every day. My uncle too would take us wherever there was a pitch, and as a result, well, you simply fall in love with the game. Then at 17 I thought to myself, okay, it's time to concentrate now.
It was 10 years later that the love affair between Hilton and Ligue 1 began. Having started his European odyssey in Switzerland with Servette, the defender moved to Bastia in Corsica, aged 27, before embarking on 4 seasons in the north of France with Lens.
I would say that was one of the best periods of my whole career. Even if I missed the sunshine a bit, I got to know what real fan fervour was like. I don't think there are too many clubs like Lens in France. It's certainly in the top 3.
The Brazilian then moved to Marseille, where he won his first French title in 2010.
At Marseille, I found something a bit Brazilian about the fan fervour. Everybody was supporting the team slightly crazily, jeering when things don't go well, much like it is in Brazil. In my first year, we finished second behind Bordeaux. I think that was already a good season, and then the year after, we win the title. To end Marseille's 17-year drought, that was a special memory.
Hilton's time at Marseille turned sour when his home was broken into, but rather than leave France on a negative note, he moved up the coast to Montpellier, then aged 33.
I knew I still had more to give. even if my final season with Marseille was tough. I had to find a club where I could enjoy my football again, and Montpellier welcomed me with open arms.
Montpellier quickly became home for Hilton, and in his very first season, La Payade held off the giants of PSG to secure one of the most astonishing title wins in French football history.
It's incredible. Montpellier gave me a one-year contract, but I had an option of extending it if we survived relegation. Obviously, they kept me on. But to win the league at a club that had never before been crowned French champions, and to do it in the fashion we did, it was just incredible. It's impossible to describe.
Hilton.
6 years on, the 40-year-old is a dominant figure at the heart of Montpellier's frugal five-man defence. His serious and sober attitude contrasts with the stereotype of a party-loving Brazilian, but it's a method that clearly works for him.
When Ronaldinho arrived at PSG, he knew that with the talent he had, he could go out almost every night and he'd still shine at the weekend. But in the end, he spent, 10 years at the top? Then, well, I think the partying caught up with him. So you do have to be careful. I've never been much of a party animal, so I can't really compare myself to others. It's true that Brazilians carry that reputation, but I also know there are plenty of Brazilians who are very serious.
In order to maintain an immaculate physical condition, Hilton has made many a sacrifice. But for the veteran stopper who continues to excel at both ends of the pitch, being able to play professionally is the ultimate high.
I still have the same drive, the same motivation that I've always had. When I get up and I go to training, I'm the happiest man alive, because I have the best job in the world, and it's my passion. Sometimes you have training sessions where you just have to say to yourself, okay, enjoy this, even if you're in a difficult period. This is the job. It's not about being happy because you've seen plenty of the ball or because you've had fun on the pitch. No, there are moments of hard work, and they have to be enjoyed as well.
The question now is, when will Vitorino Hilton stop? The veteran has proved this season that he's still capable of leading Montpellier's defence with class and intelligence. And he insists he'll be ready to go again come August.
I still have at least a season in me. My aim was to get to 40, and that just flew by. I say only God can stop me. I think I'll know when the day comes when I'll have to stop. But it hasn't come yet.
national brésilien.
Le festival, le Brésil à Paris, la régalade.
On the morning of the 4th of August, Neymar Jr. touched down in France to officialise his hugely anticipated and world record transfer to Paris Saint-Germain. What followed between then and his injury in February was quite simply exceptional, and enough to see PSG's number 10 named player of the season. The Brazilian arrived with celebrity billing and the sort of marketability that Ligue 1 had rarely seen before.
I think this transfer is an important step forward for our team, but also for the French Championship. PSG are already a big club, but with this signature, it's another giant step forward for French football, for PSG, and even for world football.
Neymar come here is good for all the Ligue 1, you know, a lot of interest around the Ligue 1, and then it's much better for French football.
Indeed, when Neymar took his first steps on a Ligue 1 pitch on August the 13th in Guingamp, it was clear France was witnessing the start of something special. With 4 goals and 4 assists in his first 4 outings, PSG's new superstar was quickly living up to expectations. Not only was Neymar tearing things up on the pitch, but his celebrity status helped PSG sell over 50,000 shirts with the Brazilian's name printed on in less than 2 months. Indeed, Paris's newest and biggest superstar wasn't just keeping defenders busy, but equally the world's media.
I'm working twice as hard now. Neymar is very important for us. I can't let down the 200 million Brazilians who watch our channel to get the latest news on Neymar.
My life has changed because Neymar. So I'm moving from Lisbon to Paris because Neymar.
The TV stations who had correspondents in Barcelona or in London, well, they're moving them to Paris now, just to follow Neymar on a daily basis.
The Parisian dynamo continued to light up the league through September, inspiring PSG to a 6-2 victory over Bordeaux. And in late October, Neymar had the opportunity to write his name in club folklore as he faced Marseille for the first time. Sent off in the second half, the Brazilian's attitude was called into question. But once again, his feat silenced the critics, as Neymar's man-of-the-match performance helped clinch a crucial 2-1 win in Monaco in November. After another shining display in Rennes in December that included 2 goals and 2 assists, the Brazilian finished the year with 11 goals and 9 assists to his name after just 14 appearances.
I came here to do big things, to score goals and to help the team as best I could. I'm happy to have been able to show my quality and to entertain. I always want to help this team.
In his first league game of the new year, Neymar was in astonishing form.
Vers Berchiche. L'Espagnol qui a du champ, qui a des solutions, il a cherché Cavani. Ce sera pour Neymar!
Scoring 4 and setting up 2, PSG's number 10 became the first player to play a part in 6 goals in a same Ligue 1 game as the Parisians thrashed Dijon 8-0.
It was incredible to be part of a team that scored so many goals this season. We scored more than 100 goals, and we're delighted with the work that each player put in and the way the team played. We racked up some big scorelines, but we always respected our opponents. We love scoring goals, we love attacking, and our style of play results in goals. This is what we love most.
The goals continued to flow for the Brazilian as PSG built an insurmountable lead at the summit of Ligue 1.
Voilà, c'est difficile de passer par-dessus le mur.
Ouais, il l'a fait quand même, c'est dans la lunette. Ça fait 2-0 Neymar.
Neymar encore face au Kitcha. Neymar toujours. Oh, quel but!
By the time Marseille arrived at the Parc des Princes in late February, Neymar had more assists than anyone in Ligue 1 and sat second in the scoring charts. This was a chance for him to make up for his sending off on the south coast. But after helping PSG into a 3-0 lead, disaster struck in the capital, as the world's most expensive player was stretchered off in the 82nd minute, and his season came to an end. Nonetheless, in just 20 league appearances, the Parisian showman shone brightly and was named the league's best player, finishing with 19 goals, 13 assists and a smile on his face.
I'm delighted that I accepted this challenge here at PSG. I'm also very happy about the trophies we've won, to have helped along the way. I played my part, even though my injury, of course, kept me out at the end of the season. But I feel that I influenced the club's success, and I do feel very happy about that.